Welcome everybody to the next edition of Traders Talk, episode 3. It's March 16th, 2021. I am in Vilcabamba, Ecuador, and my guest today is Veronika K. And she's in Berlin, in Germany. She's my student of optionmindful.com. She's been with me for the first 3 months, did the full program of Discover Option Trading and been trading on paper for almost a year now, right, Veronika? Yeah? Or complete year also. And was my best student, actually, from all that I had, following all the homeworks, doing everything that we've been discussing there, and I asked her for doing. And Veronika started already as a experienced trader. You already been trading a little bit before, and then completed this Discover Option Trading. So I introduced options to Veronika. And today in this Traders Talk, we're just gonna have a little chat about the trader's journey, how the journey actually goes from somebody who tried stock trading and tried to generate some sort of additional income for themselves for a while, and then got a mentor and went further, took a little bit of steps, and how much time it took, and generally just a little chat for everybody to get inspired about like how you can get from beginner to be actually a trader, which is able to generate profits from stock market and option market, and how it goes. So I have a little agenda basically in here. Like we're gonna talk about the journey of a trader with Veronika. And before we talk about how did you begin your journey, I wanted to ask you, Veronika, like maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit to the guys, like where you're from, what you've been doing, and so on, and how did you get to this idea of trading?
Yeah, so as mentioned, my name is Veronika. I'm coming from Slovakia, but I was since the age of 18. I mean, I'm traveling and living in different countries, and maybe more how my journey began was I can remember very well as it was yesterday. It was during the Christmas 2018, where because of my family issues, I realized that when I will do like working in a corporate or in a startup, whatever, that I will always be dependent on somebody else to allow me, let's say, to travel to my family or to take care of someone who is sick, etc., etc. Or if I am sick, And I sort of understood that this is like an additional stressful situation on top of what you are currently dealing with. And then I was thinking like, what to do. And I think it just came really naturally during this Christmas that I always been interested in the finance and the stocks exchange and options, etc., etc. So I thought, okay, maybe this is the way how to become a more independent and not, like be dependent on someone's decision based on the, I don't know, mood or, situation. And pretty much that was the key point for me to say, okay, you need to change something. And during the Christmas, I already started to do a bit of research, but I must say that the information is so vast. There's so many information that you, as an individual, you have no capacities to choose the right information. So
you've been searching mostly on the internet, or did you go for books or something like this to figure things out?
Yeah, so I went mostly on a professional website, but they were not as much professional as I would expect, because it was mostly like people were sharing their more like an experience, and I knew that if this works for them, doesn't necessarily works for me, And but I was very motivated, so I somehow started, and I started just as a swing trader, and at the same time I was learning the information on different portals, maybe to some books, but at certain, I think at certain stage, and I think it was it was happening very, very fast, I realized that this is not the way, because the way how I was doing it at the beginning, that would be a best way to discouragement and just to abandon the trading, just because I was not able to filter what kind of information I do need, which informations are relevant, which are not relevant at all.
So it was like a big chaos of data all over the place.
Exactly. So, and then, and I also remember when I was trading, I mean, I felt like, okay, this is not the right approach. I need to have some kind of system, etc., etc. And then I was thinking, like, what should I do? And then I don't know if it was a universe or something, but then I opened Facebook, and I noticed that you are very active in this regard, and you were doing a talk. So then I said, okay, let's approach Adam. Maybe he will be able to share some ideas with me. And I think that's the way how we sort of like realize that like the goals is pretty much the same. And I think also for you, you were at the stage when you start these academic things, or
yeah, exactly. You know, I've been actually opening it up. So I didn't teach this stuff at that time. You know, so I was just trading for myself, and I was thinking, you know what, I want to share this with other people. So I'm gonna build something, you know, because I'm traveling. I want to have like, you know, just a sharing experience. See if this could be something I can contribute to and share, and also learn, because you know when I'm teaching others, I'm definitely learning also myself, or filling the gaps, you know, where I maybe skipped on some information. But now when I have students, I definitely have to do my homework because I need to teach it. So
exactly.
I've seen it as an improvement way. And I was searching at the time for people that I could be mentoring, and I didn't even, you know, want to charge anything for that, except for some promises for the, like you remember, for charities, that if you make money with that, then don't give it to me, give it to some charity. But
yeah,
I was
that's
definitely,
still on me.
but that was
I
definitely
remember.
the time. Yeah, I remember it was the time when you approached me, and I was like, wow, that would be actually fantastic, you know, if we had, if you because you were motivated, that's what struck me. You were motivated, you were giving me all the reasons to, you know, which were great reasons, great let's say motivators, in mental motivators for you to continue the course and actually do it fully, and you know, not just come over and, you know, just say, oh, I'm interested in this topic, but you know, I just want to touch base and then leave, because, and then now I have all the information, but I don't really want to do it. You were more like dedicated and yeah, towards this, and I knew that you're gonna go through the whole journey. So I was like, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Indeed, I was dedicated, and maybe I can just share what was my how I perceived that mentoring program. And I must say, like looking now back, I think I was very, very happy. And I do remember when we had the first call on over the WhatsApp, and I asked you like what kind of information, etc., etc. You mentioned something like, "Oh yeah, you need to have a mentor," and I must say, I was a bit reluctant at that stage, but after the session, I completely understand, and I can not just agree that the mentor is like crucial in order to proceed with the trading, because like mentor will explain, will guide you, and if you do not have the guidance, I think you can pretty much be discouraged very, very, very soon. And I think it's a pity. It's a pity because like your mentoring program showed me that I mean, it's not a rocket science. There are some rules which you need to apply, but as far as you are dedicated and you know you have a like a discipline, it's something which can be done, and you can use this as a legitimate living thing. to pay your expenses and more.
Yeah, I experienced that from a lot of people when they say, many people just don't even believe that it's possible, you know. I remember having some conversations with friends of mine from Poland, and with whom I studied, you know, IT. I used to study, you know, software engineering, and these guys have the career. And when I tell them, oh, this is something what you can do actually to generate passive income or semi-passive, because you in the beginning maybe you need to be a bit active with trading, right? But you can use this and just sit at your computer and generate some cash from, you know, just knowing the rules, understanding how markets work, and using your knowledge and converting your knowledge to income. They would not believe me. They would be just like, no, it's like just everybody who's just on the stock market is a speculator, is a gambler, and you know, it's a casino, which probably markets are a casino, but there are definitely rules which you can follow, which increase probabilities at which you can generate profits. And if you follow those rules, then it works. It's just a system that works. But not many people are believing that. And you know, so I understand your doubts in the beginning as well. Yeah, and especially when there's somebody telling you that it's gonna teach you, and there is like some program for this. Yeah, already you're just trying to sell me something. But actually, it's not true. It's something that works, and you just need to have dedication and stay in the game. Yeah, that's what you say.
Exactly. And what I also really enjoy about this mentoring program was, the first of all, I really enjoyed that you filtered the necessary information, which give you a good basic and a understanding, and then it was up to me sort of like to expand those knowledge, you know. But your program provide really good basis, and I think this is a crucial in anything you do, you know. So this is something which I really did appreciate, and I sort of understand, okay, you should focus in this direction, you should focus on the Greeks, etc., etc. And then the second thing, what I realized is that whatever I've done before without you as a mentor was completely wrong. And you know, you are laughing, but like when you were explaining me how does it work, I literally have a goosebumps, because I thought, oh my god, if I would do it the way how I do it, I would lose a lot of money, you know. So I think that this was like a really good realization, because a lot of people, they just want to go and just to make money as fast as possible, which maybe can happen, but it's just a matter of the luck rather than the, you know, to have a, you know, the professional approach to that. So this is also something which I realized very fast while being in your program, that that to do it alone and to trade alone without no background or like, you know, information, it's just like it's just a recipe for a disaster.
Yes.
And then the third thing which I really did enjoy, and I actually which really benefited me, was the way how your lesson, or I can say lesson, or each lesson was built up. So lecture, that's the right name. How it was built up. So there was a like explained in a very human way the topics which or like the whatever we are going to discuss. So let's say Greeks, you explain it very simple in a human way. And then the second part was for a practice. So we had you show me the interface of Think or Swim. You show me how does it work, what needs to be done, etc., etc. And then the nice bonus was that you really make homeworks, and that really makes you think about the steps, and you know, to do a bit of research, and to be fully engaged.
Yeah, you were the one who was doing these homeworks a lot, and that was for sure benefiting you, because I have students which don't want to do that. They just like, you know, I push them, but I didn't have to do that with you. So that's why I'm saying you were very good and motivated with this, and I'm happy to hear all these words that you're saying. Yeah, and I can actually relate to you when you said something about going opposite direction when you're not having a mentor. I in my past also had that situation. So when I didn't know what I'm doing, and I started trading live, and I blew a lot of currency, away, until I found a mentor actually, and that was also similar for me with similar experience. So interesting, and I'm also doing some homeworks, so you're not alone. But thank you for that feedback. That's very, very cool.
Maybe also what maybe I do understand why people don't want a mentor. Maybe it's also because of the element, because usually when you want a mentor, it's really like a very like a call, I don't know, on a very core, like I don't know how to explain, but it's very, very like a professional. I'm not saying that you are not professional, you are very professional, but you are also very approachable, so that really like a swap, me not going for a mentor to going to a mentor, was actually also a kind of your personality, that you were approachable. I got a feeling that there are no good, bad, they are just questions, and you just ask them, and I think this is also like very important part of that process.
So you don't see your teacher or your mentor as like a teacher at school, where he was like somebody above you, and he's the one telling you things, and you're just this little student which doesn't know nothing. But I don't do that, definitely not, and I don't like when people do that as well, because we are all equal and we are all learning here in this experience, and every question, like you said, is good because it makes me think, and together we actually may be solving something deeper, or some, I don't know, just go deeper into some topic and learn more, both of us, so
exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe what I can also mention, what I really did like, was on a very, very first session, we sort of, before we started to like educate and learn, on a first session we sort of like discussed the main motivation why I want to do a trading, and you came up with these questions. And I think for me it was really good exercise, because I put them on the paper, and this is something which when I wrote it and then I read it, it just stuck with my mind. And even sometimes when I felt, again, I mean, I just realized why I'm doing it, and it just keeps me going. So this was also, at least from my perspective, this was quite good things to do as an intro.
Yeah, I think that's very important. If you don't get the solid basis of motivation and answer the question why you're doing this to yourself honestly, then you will not be dedicated or just persistent in what what you're doing, because the basis is not solid. You cannot, like in your tough days where you're feeling bad and sad and things went down, and you're feeling like it's not for you, you always can come back to your why, and then you read it back and then see, oh, this is the reason why I'm doing this. I want to be able to spend more time with my family. I want to be able to be independent from my work. I want to be able to generate profits as I travel. I want to be able to do this, and this is the deeper reason why I want this. Then you come back, you don't just give up, and then it's easier to continue. And if you stay in the game, you're gonna achieve your goal. So coming back to those answers to these questions, I think it can keep you motivated and going. And that's actually a big secret to life with everything. I think reaching all the goals, just answering the question why am I doing this? Why am I into, it doesn't have to be trading, it can be something else. You could be a real estate investor, and is equally as important. Why am I buying this house? What is the reason for me getting into this? So I think very important. Yeah, I have some items actually on this agenda. Why did you decide to give trading a go? First of all, why did you actually not choose real estate? And what was the reason more going for trading stocks or options rather than other things, like, going and learning about investing in real estate, which would bring you currency as well, passive income, or start some sort of an online business, which people do these days, like some shop on Shopify. Why did you actually think about trading?
Yeah, I think we all know the answer on this. It's just like money. your capital, right? The trading, I knew that you can sort of like do it with you can start with quite some low amount, so that was one of the thing. And then the second thing was, I don't know, for me personally, it was I just felt comfortable with it. I don't know, I had a relationship with this stock exchange since childhood. I do remember as a kid, I was always browsing the newspaper and looking the exchange rate and thinking, oh my God, now if I would buy US dollars and now I would sell it there, oh my God, I would make money, fortune, like $10, and I would have a candies, So, but this was the things, and so that was the reason why I always thought about these talks. And I mean, I also heard people that, oh yeah, it can be done, so I also interact with some people that it's perfectly doable. I just didn't know why. I just didn't know how it is done, but that's the main reason. And also because of the capital, you can you don't need to have a lot of money to go to the stocks exchange and trade and do an option trading, etc., etc.
So that's very, very true. That can be something really cool about option trading and stock trading is that for me, like personally, is that you can enter, like you said, with very low amount. You can start an account with small amount on it and start experiencing investing in some companies or whatever. And also the markets are very liquid, so it's very easy to go in and out. And then also the last thing is that I can always do this from my computer, and I don't have to be, for me personally, I don't have to be thinking about some renovations or whatever people do with real estate. I know that from real estate investors that okay, it can be actually a very nice source of passive income. You can redirect all this handling of properties to some management companies, but it still involves a little bit like it keeps me grounded. I would rather be traveling with my computer and just making trades from here to there, and then know where they start, when they end. I can exit anytime I want. So for me, because I'm a kind of traveling spirit and moving around and experiencing things, it was very natural choice for me. So, but I understand your reasons is perfectly great. So, and main challenges and worries, what do you find like challenging and keeps you away from sleeping when you're in the trades or in this investing, like these days?
I mean, these days I'm pretty okay because I do already my routine. So I always check markets before the closure and after the closure, so I sort of know what I have to focus the next day. But I must say, like at the beginning when I started, I had the two main worries. The first worries was being assigned.
Okay, I mean from the option. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we already had these discussions.
Yes,
It took me a while to understand these assignment issues, and particularly in the option trading, if you are assigned, sort of like you have a backup in the second position, so this keeps me calmer, much calmer. But before I figure it out, how does it work? I mean, I thought, oh my God, I cannot go assigned. I cannot go trading because I will be assigned $50,000. What I'm going to do? I'm just going to kill myself, So that was the biggest concern of mine. To be assigned. And then the second challenge for me is the risk management. I mean, I just told you earlier that I'm actively practicing this, but this is, I think this is like alpha omega of all trading. As if you do not know, or if you do not have a proper risk management and you are not willing to stick to your rules, I think you can know about training more than Warren Buffett. You will be still doomed because you need to have a discipline. You need to follow the rules which you identify at the beginning in order to prevent yourself from the losses. It sounds very simple, but like for me, like risk management, that's that's the toughest thing to practice, because you always somewhere deep in your heart you think, okay, it will change and we'll go back in the direction you want to, but and you need to realize, so this is like definitely one of the challenging things even nowadays, but I'm getting better in this.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right with this, and I told you, you're my best student. I like the way you talk. So it's absolutely, I agree with you. Risk management is, I think, number one thing that you must have when you go to the stock market. And lots of people who enter, especially these days where the markets are driven by a lot of FOMO, people, they don't know what they're doing, and they go into the market without any plan, any goal, any backup plan, or any hedging. And then, everything goes well until it's not. So at the moment when things reverse, go the opposite direction, they are clueless, they panic, they exit the market too early or whatever. They are not hedged, they can blow their accounts and so on. So if you don't have any risk management, any idea of what it means to hedge or what it means to adjust positions, you will be burned. And I agree with you 100%. And the challenge with assignment, just for the audience, assignment is the process where you are promising someone to buy something from them at a certain price, and then the price really go down below what you promised, and you start losing currency, and then you will be assigned, you will have to fulfill, you're obligated to fulfill your promise. So you will be given either the shares, or you have to sell some shares at some certain level. And that can be definitely something that brings some sweat on your forehead.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you do not well practiced, and you don't know that it's actually quite easy to not be assigned, just get a call that there is assignment coming back up and disclosing your positions. But that comes if you practice this with paper trading, and then those worries and challenges go away. That's why I always tell people, you can finish the course, you can do the 3 months, but you actually really need experience, and experience is on paper, it's better, because then you don't blow your accounts. There's no reason
just to tell you, if I'm going to be assigned, because I understood statistically it must happen at some point, you will be the first person to call. So this is like to give you a spoiler alert, so, but yeah, definitely when you understand, you can sleep much better.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sure, call me. All right, I move to the next point. So where are you now? Where would you like to get to? So you actually explained a little bit already about this. So definitely growing on the risk management side. But I don't want you to tell me like where are you, financially with the in terms of how big your account is. More rather like, are you somewhere at the point where that you can still improve and grow your account faster, or you're at the point where you're currently making some currency every month? And if you do, and you're happy with it, and if you do, what kind of level is this in like percentage, per month on the money that you're putting there on the account?
Yeah, so where I am now, I'm still doing a paper account, and one of the reasons of this paper account is exactly what we discussed in before. It's a risk management for me. I really want to make sure that I will not have any, feelings attached to abandon or to close the position, so that's for me the key to be good, or to be confident enough to go to the live market. Now because I'm quite risk averse, so I'm now doing it I do have a small account, and I usually have like 6-7% return of investment per month, but it fluctuates. It's not like 6-7% stable. It's just like how do you call it? It's the average, because the last couple of months, sorry, I just didn't practice risk management properly. So that's the reason why, let's say once month I had 10-12%. That's the reason why my average decreases, just because I really hope that some positions will go bad and I lost like $200-300 on it, you know, and disappointed. So this was a bit disappointed that, oh yeah, I could grow my account much faster, you know. So there is still the learning in the I'm still in the learning curve, let it put it this way. I'm okay at this stage. I'm quite okay to understand that I am capable with my knowledge to grow the account. What I would like to change in the future is maybe to be more to be less risk averse. So you know, just to be more also focus on the percentage, etc., etc. But I think this will come as a next steps. My first priority now is to master the risk management, go on the real market, touch the feeling actually of the real money, because I think there will be always a change compared to paper accounts. So I just want to understand the feeling, etc., etc. And then if I will sort of like be able to repeat what I practicing on the paper account, then my next stage would be, okay, what can I do more? What can I do next in order to expand my profits in a maybe in a more not in such a conservative way as I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to approach this. Why would you be risk averse? You already mentioned that, you know, risk management. You want to practice risk management and adjustments probably. And once this becomes very clear to you, I would say then it's easier to take higher risks because you know what to do in case things, you know, change and go opposite direction. Then you have like a simply, it's like built into your mind. How do you react to this kind of move? And you're not worried, you're not thinking, you don't have to be like, you know, like it's just going to be automatic. You don't have to come up with the new ideas, asking people around, reading on the internet, what do I do in this situation? You already know. So the moment you learn this and it becomes your second nature, then you will be naturally taking higher risks. Of course, no, you know, still risks which are manageable, but higher than now. And actually, I think it's good to be a little bit conservative in the beginning when you're trading. Because you know, there is this saying by Warren Buffett, you know, like rule number 1 is to not lose any money, and then rule number 2 as well. So if you start growing your account, even, you know, $1, you know, per month or 2, whatever, in the beginning, you're still growing, you're not losing any currency. So that's good. And, you know, taking bigger risk later on, you know, of course you can do this, but once you have a proper risk management in place.
Exactly. And what I must say, it's like like I started with the small account. So we are talking about 1,000, like four digit account, currency account. And I think it is also good because when you start small, your profit are small. Now talking about the nominal perspective, on the percentage perspective, they are quite nice return. But I think just to get the mentality, okay, on this position I can get $30-60. You know, that's also very important because it learns you to be patient. You know, and it takes time to build up. You know, but I think when you do it in this way, or at least that's how I perceive it, you will be more careful, you know, and you will be more wise, you know, in the future, like how to do it, etc., etc. So I think also like it is quite beneficial to start in a small account because you learn to be patient and you know, just to properly manage and just to understand what's happening.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. You know, I've been trading in the beginning this on my online videos, you know, which I publish every week. I've been trading only this 100K account in the beginning. So with 100K account, it's quite easy to, you know, take risk and, you know, go and make a lot of cash, you know, generate lots of returns. But then I came up with this idea, stuff that you're subscribed to, a 5K account. And I remember that was like in the beginning for me, it was challenging, you know, to switch to this small account. And then I was like, fuck, I lost like so much cash in the beginning. How do I recover, you know? And then had to change the strategy completely and adjust and be happy with smaller profits, you know? And then at some point of time, calibrate to, grow it to a higher level and just be okay with small profits, nominal value, like you said. They are still very high profits in percentage wise, but it takes a while. And actually, I also encourage everybody to start with a small account and just start growing it and not be so greedy. Just learn this patience as you described it. So that's very, very good point. I agree with you. So was it worth it to start trading and option trading? Was it worth it to join and find a mentor? I think you already described this, but just in a few words.
I mean, it was. Yeah, I mean, it was worth it. And also, I'm really happy that I came across to you because you introduced me this option trading, which I was not really familiar at that stage when I met you, like when we discussed about this, because I was thinking, okay, now I will do maybe swing trading, but actually, so they are different kind of trainings you can practice, but you explained it to me, and I must say, really, from my perspective, I'm much more comfortable with the option trading. I understand what are the risks, what are the good sides, and it just fits my lifestyle at this stage, and I'm quite happy. But also, like, the overall experience of this program was for me was really enjoyable. I mean, it was worth it. I really was looking forward to next session because I was really curious to understand, and also like the learning style and the way how you teach. It's just really very, very user friendly, so you don't feel like you are the stupid one or something. So for me, it was really, I can just recommend.
Thank you. That's fantastic to hear. I'm trying to do, no, I'm not trying. I'm doing my best, to actually bring this to the level where it's understandable for the total newbie or beginner, So I'm not generating this program for people who are rich already and want to get richer. I want to, basically, I'm creating this program to provide freedom to people, so that they can be independent and they can generate enough so that they can actually focus on the things that are important for them in life and not, let's say, worry about currency. Lots of us have, other things to do in life. We don't want to be maybe sitting in the office and clicking something for currency. We would rather be maybe painters or making music. And sometimes this kind of things which bring us a lot of pleasure and we can be the most creative at, they don't bring enough currency to pay for our living or rent or whatever we are doing. So if you learn to make enough with this, to just make your life, cover your life costs and your needs, basic needs, and for shelter, for food, for travel, then you can easily focus on other things and become extremely successful person in all these. So I think this kind of knowledge, giving it to people who are, in a more difficult situation financially, it may make the world a better place because we will have more guys who actually express themselves, what their true gift is. They express it to the world. Some
exactly.
I said some like music, some like to work for charity, some like to do something else, and sometimes this. If you're not a banker or insurance person, maybe you're not making enough cash to, support you and your family. But that doesn't mean that what you like to do is a bad thing, And building some equality for everybody in terms of freedoms.
Exactly, and this is. Wait a second, I will just turn on the lights because
you just disappeared. You're like black in the darkness.
Sorry. This is maybe something which I would also like to say that after finishing this, it also helps. It just give me this feeling of, okay, whatever can happen, you have an option, like. And even now, like thinking, okay, if I would become unemployed or, if I would lose a job now, I'm okay because I know that I have a option trading and I know how to somehow cover some months of my expensive, and in the future, of course, I would like to dedicate all to this trading, and just maybe to focus on my things which I would like to do, or focus on my family, etc., etc. So, but definitely this was a additional very nice benefit to change the setup in your mind, thinking, okay, I have another option, which is quite important, because not a lot of people realize that.
Yeah, I think
that
it's extremely important. It brings this freedom of mind and brings this confidence, right? So if you still have a job, because you may have, and you still may be trading options like as a second income, right, at the same time. But when imagine that the situation you have, you have a job, but you also have an option trading, and you go there, and then your boss or somebody becomes an asshole to you and just treats you very poorly and badly. You are not feeling the same feelings that the person who doesn't have the ability to trade, has. So one of those two people would be extremely worried about their, how am I going to continue, especially if I don't have any much savings, have all this huge fear, while the person who has option trading or trading ability and, can do this is like, you know what, okay, I'm going to switch the job now. And for some period of time, I'm going to support myself with trading. And maybe I'm not going to be extremely rich on making, in the beginning at least, too much currency, but I will be free, and I will be taking time to find a job which satisfies me, or just start doing something else. And that kind of level of confidence is like something priceless, I would say. And I find this amazing. So the more you focus on generating, like you using your basically brain power, your own abilities, to set yourself free and not be push away, or pull away person, in which many people are in those corporations. They're treated badly, and then they have no choice because they have some sort of a credit to pay, or mortgage or something, and they feel like slaves. So to me, this is a tool to remove this slavery and make you a much freer, at least even feeling wise and mentally.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So basically, you answered my question here, because the last one was your experience with the option mindful. You already talk about this throughout the conversation. So thank you very much for that. Yeah, I just want to say that I was really happy as your mentor. Teaching you, Veronika, was a lot of pleasure, and seeing you on this journey, coming in 1 year ago, coming in, and you had some thoughts. I saw your motivation, and I saw that all you need is actually to this bringing this order to the chaos, and showing you the path. And then you would be just going, you were always asking the great questions. Well, your curiosity was also in the amazing levels. I learned a lot from you, honestly, because you made me answer some questions which I was sometimes like not 100% sure about. So I had to do my research to answer your questions sometimes, and then just like be like, oh, all right, yeah. I kind of knew some things as well, but I never like mentally answered them to myself to make it like absolutely clear. So we both learned at that time, and thanks to you, I was able to build all this academy now, and I have some online programs. I improved on this course which you were doing based on this experience. So I'm very grateful to you, Veronika, extremely grateful for being part of this and learning with me till the end, and also following my recommendation with the paper trading, and not being like crazy going to live trading immediately, because that takes a lot of effort, mental, to keep yourself sitting on the chair and paper trading before going for live, because you feel like you're missing out. And lots of people actually, out of this fear of missing out, now today decide for some investments which are maybe not so great, but you were able to sit down through it, and you are now 1 year after with, for sure, full understanding why we were doing this. And I'm sure also when you enter live account now, it will be much easier for you. You will not be that scared and fearful.
Yeah, for sure. And I think also, like, I takes my time, because I know that I would like to do it in the future for life, then I think it's worth it to do this paper account, and just to practice and practice. And then what I wanted to say is about the experience. So the mentoring program was really, really good experience. But I'm also very, very happy with this 5K program, which you are offering, and you give us the lesson or lecture every week. And I find it very, very beneficial because compared to others, what you do is like we really focus on we focus on the theory or the question which we have, but also like the second part is that you really bring us to this paper account, and we have a live trading experience, and I think this is very, very important as well during the learning curve. So not only your mentoring program, but also this individual then or this 5K program, it's also very, very beneficial. And I must say that once I will master this, then I'm pretty sure I will sign up for this one-to-one mentoring, so you can sort of like advise me on my account, so I'm in this stage, I'm like really, really, from the experience wise, I'm quite happy as of now.
Yeah,
or till now. So
I'm happy that you also like the 5K. Thank you for the feedback. Yeah, and I also think that's why I created this, that me and students can have common, like, together experience on paper, which is, for me, actually it feels more like life account because I'm responsible for the results. I have to show some proper results to people.
Pressure.
Yeah, there is pressure. But I love to do this, and for example, in the beginning, I was losing on this account. I remember in the beginning because I made some trade decisions from the previous account, 100K, and then I was just having 5K for, on that account to trade. So I remember there was so much pressure where I was feeling like, oh my God, but I stayed in it, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna keep it realistic, because I want to show my students as well that even if you have losses, you can recover from them and actually turn your account back to positive and not give up and not start crying, and just, I think it's a very important lesson there as well. So it was extremely good experience for me as well, and I'm glad that you like it and that you keep learning from it.
I know, I think it's very beneficial because I don't know what kind of students you have, but I would say that a lot of people who decide do this to decide go with trading, I think they usually are willing or able to put just a couple of maybe hundreds or thousands in the trading, and this 5K video is definitely the very, very good opportunity, to understand what is behind a small account, and what kind of profits you can generate from each position, so I think it's very, very, I think it's crucial, I would say, at the beginning of any kind of like the novice trader, to understand, because with 100K 1,000 account, as you said, it's much easier. You are more, okay, whatever, 1,000 up, down. But let's say if you have 4,000 or 5,000, then you really have to sort of like calculate how much you are willing to put in the one positions, etc., etc.
It's true, and majority of us have smaller accounts, like you said in the beginning. So before you get to 100K, well, you definitely need to experience something small, and it's a different dynamics. Yes, so that's very, very true. Yeah. All right. To wrap things up, Veronika, thank you very much for introducing us to your journey, telling us how it was going. I also learned a lot, how it was looking for you and where you are right now. And very good to know, that you're continuing and you're making 7% is quite nice, monthly returns. That's very good. You can grow your account consistently. And, I think, with the time, you will also learn a little bit more strategies for, how you can grow the account so that it profits you really in a way that is passive. I think I was introducing some on the last videos, I think, and the next one, today video, I also introducing some techniques to acquire getting assigned, the assets which can cash flow on your account without your interference and so on, and getting those things and reducing cost of owning stocks and stuff like this. So I think you will get that very quickly, and I just see a bright future for you, Veronika. So that's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah. And from my side, I mean, thank you for having me. It was really nice to talk about my journey, and hopefully some people get a better understanding what is the storyline behind the novice traders.
Yeah, thank you, fantastic. So for those novice traders, I welcome everybody to visit the Option Mindful, the website. Go to the YouTube channel or whatever, in Instagram, also Option Mindful, @Option Mindful. So if you're interested, you can message me directly, and we can have a chat on mentoring programs or online programs if you're interested. And yeah, basically, thank you very much, Veronika, for that conversation. I'm gonna stop recording now, and very grateful to you. So let me just do this.